Let's talk about pricing. There are 3 different types of pricing structures: an a la carte service menu, all-inclusive pricing, and charging hourly. For an a la carte menu, there is a set price for every service, and the client is charged per service item. For instance, highlights are X dollar amount, so it could be $100, and a toner is Y dollar amount, or $50. And so you would add up the total and charge the client based on the services that were provided. All-inclusive pricing is the cost of the entire service. For example, the price of a partial highlight would include the toner and the blow dry. In this pricing structure, there's generally a range from, let's say, $100 to $150, which can be based on factors such as the hair length, density, and the color choice. Charging hourly is setting an hourly rate, such as $50 per hour, and charging the client based on the duration of the appointment. Now, how do you know what you should be charging? The pricing structure is how you implement the cost of services to your client. But how do you know what the base price of your services should be? Here is a general guideline of how to determine your service prices. First, start by figuring out how much you'd like to make in 1 year. And then we break down that number based on how many days you work and the number of hours worked. Here's an example. Let's say you want to make $80,000 a year. We take $80,000 and divide it by the number of weeks in 1 year, which is 52. That gives you $1,538, the weekly amount you must generate to get to $80,000 a year. Now, we divide that number by the number of days you work in the salon. Let's say you work 4 days a week. We now take the weekly amount of $1,538 and divide it by 4, which equals $384.50. This is your daily amount. Finally, we break that down by the number of hours you work in 1 day. Let's say it's 8 hours. $384.50 divided by 8 equals 48. That is the amount you have to make hourly in order to generate $80,000 in 1 year. Now, this is just a general guideline to give you a starting point. These numbers will differ based on your geographic location, expertise, and your experience. Please keep in mind that there are several other factors that need to be considered. First and foremost, the $80,000 number we started with is how much revenue is generated. It's not how much money you get to keep and take home. We still have to deduct rent, product and supply cost, credit card processing fees, software fees, and all other business expenses. I recommend multiplying this number by 2 to account for expenses and taxes, which will then bring your hourly rate to $96. If you do an a la carte type of pricing, then you calculate how long it takes you to do a particular service, and then you can use that as a guideline. Knowing this number, you can then select which pricing structure works best for you and your clients.